Some before about the economy. He's the managing director. Dr. Alan Watkins is a physician and neuroscientist who runs a management consultancy company. It's quite an interesting story, that, where violence flares up out of nothing.
Yes, it often does, and that's usually because people feel threatened. And when a human being feels threatened, their biology goes into chaos, their frontal lobes shut down, and it's like they've had a DIY lobotomy. Their brain simply doesn't work, and they do something stupid, like Bill grabbing this big muscle builder by the throat. That wouldn't happen in the normal circumstances, but under pressure with a brain shut down, all sorts of crazy stuff happens.
Yeah, but of course it's not often a physical threat that causes this. It seems to be verbal. So how does the brain go to a physical place when all that's happening is an argument?
It's the same pathway. It's the same pathway. If you're getting a threat to your point of view, a threat to your self-esteem, if your parentage is called into question, the same part of the brain as if, you're seeing a bear. And so biology goes in chaos, brain shuts down, and you do something stupid. I mean, there are many, many examples. We have game shows about this, The Weakest Link, Family Fortunes. It's the same phenomena.
It's because somebody's pride is hurt, is that right?
They feel threatened in some way. So that it might be a threat to their pride. It's the same process as if somebody takes a knife to you. And so what you'll see in the workplace is there's a sort of continuum. People do stupid things if they feel threatened, and this is just an extreme example of that.
And you have come across examples, have you, in, I don't know, white-collar industries, workplaces where people wear ties and smart clothes, where there is suddenly violence?
Violence is an unusual end of the spectrum, but you certainly see bullying and intimidation. I mean, that's, I've seen many executives who would claim they've been shouted at by the best of them.
Well, yeah, but shouting's in the margins, isn't it? Or not?
No, shouting can escalate.
The same thing.
Larger shouting, intense shouting, getting in each other's grills, and eventually, particularly if this has been going on a number of times, I suspect that some of these cases, there's been festering kind of unrest and threats and counter-threats for some time, and this then becomes the straw that breaks the camel's back.
In the UKIP case, we gather that the person who was hit had asked the other person, who strangely was the party's defence spokesman, to step outside to sort things out. Now, that is a kind of precursor phrase to a fight, isn't it?
Oh, no, absolutely. So
that's an invitation to fight?
Yeah, absolutely.
So if he then gets hit in the face by somebody, maybe he had it coming?
Well, I don't know whether he had it coming. I mean, you'd think two rational men would actually just have a sensible conversation. But the sensible conversation can't happen because they're both in a heightened state of threatened defence. So the whole fight-flight kicks in and somebody tries to lump somebody else.
So if somebody says to you or to a person, step outside to sort this out, as I understand it, I'm a bit square about these things, that means they want to fight. So you have to not go outside at that point, is that right?
Or if you do go outside, not engage in a fisticuffs.
But once you're outside, you've effectively said, I'm up for a fight.
Yeah, there's a sort of implicit promise in those scenarios. So, you'd far be better diffusing these situations than going outside where neither of you have got any kind of frontal cortex, any proper intelligence operating.
But what do you say to diffuse it without losing face?
Well, you've got to try and understand where the other person's coming from. Why does he want to take me outside? What's this about? What's really going on? What's your real beef? But the problem may be already that the brain shutdown has happened inside the building, so that conversation can't even happen. So this is why it just brews up and brews up and brews up. So any human being is capable of this. This is a biological mechanism that we've all got. So even you, Jeremy, under the right set of circumstances, as we discussed already.
Well, I was just saying to you before we started, I've never hit anyone in my life. Or even though a couple of times I have been hit, and I just assume I'm missing these primal cells.
Oh, no, we've all got these capabilities. It's just that we're able to manage them most of the time. But under the right set of circumstances, anybody is capable of this, because anybody's capable of brain shutdown. And when the brain is shut down, literally anybody can do anything.
Right, and can I tell, or can you tell, when your brain is shutting down, when you're about to hit someone?
It's a bit of a catch-22, because, of course, once your brain is shut down, you lose perceptual awareness, so you don't realise your brain is shut down. So it's usually too late. So the best thing to do is to train yourself to prevent that happening before it gets too far, and then you end up doing something stupid. So there are some really concrete things you can do, and it first of all starts by you training yourself to control your biology. So that brain shutdown mechanism, which human beings have had for 200,000 years, doesn't get activated. And training your biology really means by controlling your breathing in the first instance. So not deep breathing, that doesn't make any difference, but rhythmic breathing. If you start to learn to breathe rhythmically when you're under that kind of threat scenario, it will keep your frontal lobes on, and you will have the perceptual awareness not to step outside or to try and say something that diffuses before you even get outside.
Very interesting indeed. Thank you so much, Dr. Alan Watkins, physician and neuroscientist. Radio 2.